Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm gonna be giving you part 10 of What If Naruto Was Trained by all the greats at a young age. Remember to get this one to 200 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. So grab your snacks and grab your drinks and relax guys and enjoy the new episode. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last part we left off, as the final started, as the matches were on their way, as Naruto went down there, as he faced off against Lee. Lee had taken off his weight before even coming down here, knowing how strong Naruto is, as Lee was incredibly fast. All of Naruto's jutsu in his arsenal, when he used them, they hurt people, and Lee being a friend, he didn't want to hurt him, so he decided to end this match rather quickly, as he transformed into Sakura in a bikini. And then he made his clones do it, as Lee passed out from the shock, as everyone couldn't believe that was the way that he won. As Kushina sighed in the box, well, at least he won. As Naruto made his way back up, something happened. As feathers started to fall, it was Kabuto who caused the Genjutsu. As the invasion began, Gaara smashed through the village as he already took control in his Shikaku form. He was in control, but he was carrying the body of Shikaku, as the Sand Ninjas didn't enter the village just as yet. As Naruto and others reported back to Tsunade, as she told them to go and guard the academy, as they made their way off. As Naruto and his group arrived at the academy, as they saw a bunch of kids dead outside, with Jonin instructors, as they made their way inside. As Naruto spoke to all of them, as he told them not to be afraid, as he told them what is inside of him. Most of them didn't believe him, most of the kids, because they heard the stories that the fourth Hokage defeated the fox. When Naruto let it loose though, they understood, as he transformed, as most of the teachers were grateful for having him here. As Naruto went outside and it was a one-sided massacre, as he decimated the group of Sound Ninjas. He then led them outside and he told Hinata and the others to go along, as Hinata was in charge. Hinata asked him where he was going, but he told her he still had much to do, as he made his way off. As that was going on, Gamabunta and Jiraiya were facing off against Shikaku, as Gar gave him control. As Jiraiya turned Gamabunta into a wolf, as he leaped as Gamabunta held down Shikaku, he drove a Rasengan into Gaara, killing Gaara at the point. As many people, he understood the kid's suffering, and in the last moments that Gaara took his breath, he saw relief on the kid's face. As he placed him down, he returned back here and gave him a proper burial, but he headed back to the village. As Naruto found the Stone 4, as they were in a process, Seikon, of raping one of the Leaf civilians. Naruto was pissed, as Teiwai told them not to do it, as she told them that they should just go along, but they still wanted to. But that was the wrong thing to say, as Naruto came there and decimated all of them, ripping them apart as he was in his tail beast mode. None of them stood a chance, as Teiwai was grabbed by him, but he told her to go and run. She was confused, as he told her that he was the only one saying to not rape the girl. As she got out of there, she wouldn't go back to the town because she knew Orochimaru would kill her. Meanwhile, Orochimaru faced off against the Inoshikacho, as Shikaku watched his friends, long-lived friends on the ground, as Orochimaru came over him and asked him to have any final words. He thought about his son as he apologized for making him have to grow up so soon, as it was a real drag to say any final words, as Orochimaru killed him right there and then, driving a sword right through his throat. Gabriella also unlocked her Sharingan after saving Haku, as they made their way towards Kushina and the others. Danzo was out with his man as well, as they were taking on the intruders at the west gate. The sand decided to pour into the village. After all, the Kazekage was the one that brought his man here, going home without even trying to fight and try to defeat them, and he knew that he would become an enemy of Orochimaru. So he decided to pour into the village as the attack increased even more with his soldiers behind him. So yeah guys, so it's basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the page and check it for yourself. So what is to begin this new episode? Shizune rushed into the office. It was a madhouse as Envoy members were flashing in and flashing out after giving a report saying that the enemy had cut the system so they couldn't send out anything. Lady Tsunade, 8 members of the Hyuga clan has arrived. Tsunade smiled, they would be a major help. Did Hayashi bring them here? Shizune smiled. No, not Hayashi. Neji didn't walk in without his crutches, but he was walking with a limp, as he offered Tsunade a respectful bow. Hokage-sama, please forgive me. When the phone lines were all cut, and it was made clear that we were being under attack, I thought you would be using the Tower Plaza as a strategy point. I was able to convince some of the cadet members to come here. Neji, you have no idea how you just helped me in the village. Thank you, said Tsunade. He bowed again. I am glad to help, he said. I realize I can no longer fight, but is there something I can do? Tsunade nodded immediately. You have a sharp mind and I can use that. Go down to the plaza end and report to the third Hokage. You can assist him in organizing our forces. Yes, Hokage-sama, he said. And Neji, when this is all over, I want you to come see me. I have something I want to discuss with you. Neji nodded as he limped out of the office. An envoy then came in. Hokage-sama, Patrol 5 has confirmed that the academy students are all safe at the cliff shelters. Per your instructions, I have Team Naruto leader on the general envoy frequency. Good, she said. She took the radio communicator. She was relieved to know that they had made it to the shelters. She just wanted to talk to Naruto for a minute, to just know that he and the others are safe. Well, safe as possible in a war zone. Naruto, are you and the others safe? There was a short pause as she heard, oh, Hinata, are you and the others alright? Let me talk to Naruto, she said. Yes, of course, the original. What do you mean he's not there? Where is he exactly? As she listened, her face darkened dangerously. He did what? Hinata, what radio frequency is he using? As she got it, oh yes, he's in trouble. You and the rest of the squad stay there and carry out my order and protect those students. Oh, she said. As she flicked off the radio and reset it to Naruto frequency. Damn it, Naruto, I don't have time to babysit you now, she said. Is something wrong, Lady Tsunade? Asked Shizune. You might say that after doing an incredible job of defeating the enemy force, he decided to go off on his own and play the hero. Shizune gasped. He's running through the village alone? Tsunade nodded, but not for long, as she turned it back to the radio frequency. Naruto, she shouted. This is the Hokage. Report in right now. But there was nothing but static. Damn it, Naruto. I know you're running around the battle zone alone. Now answer me. As she got a reply, but not one that she wanted to hear. Meanwhile, they just cleared section 15. Kushina estimated it wouldn't take longer to clear up the entire stadium. As they clear up the entire stadium, she added more Leaf Ninjas to her force. She had about 150 now when they were clearing the last quarter of the stadium. As they headed towards D1, she noticed Gabriella had picked up a sword. As she watched, Gabriella rushed towards the Sannin and took him on, as she performed a perfect thrust and take him out. Kushina was stunned at the skill and ease. Gabriella, she called. Why didn't you tell me you had sword training? Gabriella grinned a bit embarrassed. Well, actually, Sensei, this is the first time I've ever picked up a sword. What? But your attack was perfectly executed. Well, I've been watching you this entire time with my Sharingan activated. I think I pick up some of your moves. Oh, yeah, I guess that is it, said Kushina. But I don't want you to use a sword anymore. Rely on kunais and jutsus. But why, Sensei? After seeing what you can do with one, I want to use a sword as well. Kushina smiled that is very flattering. But while we're in combat, I want you to rely on what you're used to. There's a lot more to sword fighting than just the moves. The middle of the battlefield is not the place to start experimenting with the fighting style. Gabriella nodded, it made sense. Sensei, when the fighting is done, will you teach me how to use a sword? I'll be happy to, say Kushina when the fighting is over. Kakashi was standing by when his radio sparked to life. Naruto, this is the Hokage, reply now. Kakashi chuckled. It sounds like Naruto is in trouble with the Hokage. Just as long as he's not in trouble with the enemy, said Kushina. Damn it, Naruto! Tsunade's voice came out. I know you're running around the battlefield all alone. Now answer me. What? He's alone, Kushina said. Kakashi, what frequency is that? 1550, said Kakashi. As Kushina switched the frequency. Tsunade, what do you mean he's all alone? What happened? In the tower, Tsunade slapped her forehead. Of course, Kakashi's frequency will be set to the ones of his students, and Kushina was standing right next to him. Alright Kushina, here's what I know. As Navi relayed the information that she was told. So right now I'm trying to get in touch with him to order him back to his shelter and his original mission. I see. Naruto, if you can hear me, reply immediately, or I swear I will ground you for a month. Kushina shouted as Naruto grimaced as he shut his radio off. Even heading to life and death combat, he found his mom being mad at him, even worse. Alright, either he's turned his radio off, or he's deliberately not answering, said Navi. Kushina, what's your status? Kushina released a breath. She knew he was strong, but she just hoped that he will not take too much risk. I expect the stadium to be completely secure in the next 10 minutes. I should have at least 150 ninja available, many of them Jonin and Chunin rank. Alright, get done with that as soon as you can, and meet me here. As they went deeper into the stadium, Gabriella spoke to her teammate. So Naruto ignored a direct order from the Hokage, and went in to fight alone. Is he that brave, or is he that just stupid? He always does what he thinks is right. He would do anything to protect those who are precious to him, said Haku, including disobeying the Hokage and go to fight alone? So it would seem, but if he saw it as necessary, I am not surprised. You know, the more I hear about him, the more I like him. As she sent Haku a grin, you better be careful, or he might just steal me away from you. Huh? Haku said, looking a bit worried, as she laughed. Moments later, the fight in the stadium was soon over, as they met another force of Leaf Ninjas, as they were being led by Ryuki. Ryuki, what are you doing here? Asked Kushina. This is where my clan seats were. We have been fighting this entire time. Of the 40 that he led, a dozen of them were of the Uchiha clan, as he noticed that his daughter Gabriella was there as well. As Gabriella saw his eyes just pass her, but his eyes then snapped back to her. Gabriella, you activate your Sharingan, he said. As she nodded, I have, father, she said. And there it suddenly was, like the sun come from behind dark clouds. Her father smiled. He smiled at her. He noticed her. All the other Uchihas were smiling at her. They were all noticing her. My daughter, I am so proud of you. I know that you could do it, he said. She stared at him with wide eyes. Lie, she thought to herself. You gave up on me a long time ago, but she did not say that out loud. Thank you, father, she said. It did not seem right to have a family argument right now. When this is over, dear, we will have a celebration in your honor, Ryuki said, as every Uchiha with him nodded. Gabriella knew there would be a celebration. The Uchiha celebrate the acquiring of the Sharingan more than they did a birth or a wedding. Her only reply to that was a weak smile. They don't care about me at all, she thought. They just care about me acquiring the Sharingan. She thought about her father treat her. To how her sensei treat her. Her father had given up on her, washed his hands away from her, when he thought that she was too old to require the Sharingan. But Kushina, she stick with her, despite all the crap that she did. And she said that she would never give up on her. And as long as she gave her something to work with, she would always work with her. As she thought about this, she looked towards Kushina. She cared far more about Kushina's opinion than her father, or any of the other Uchihas. We have orders to assemble at the Hokage's tower the moment the stadium is secure, said Kushina. Let's go. As he did not like to take order from that woman, but given the circumstances, he simply nodded and followed. Meanwhile, pull back, Ibiki shouted, as he made his man go back and cover as he launched kunais and shurikens. As the Hokage said, the 500 strong Sand Ninjas were pouring as they launched a strong attack, and he just had 55 men with him here. He could only slow them down. But that was when he felt something approaching from behind, something heavy and thick. Have they gotten behind us? One of the men yelled. No, that can't be. The Shikaku was gone long time with Jiraiya, another one said. Hold your positions, Ibiki said. Let's see who or what this is. As they were waiting, they saw a figure start to run forward on all fours, as he was covered in red, as the outline of a chakra looked like an animal, as two tails were behind him. Someone threw a kunai as they saw the figure coming, but he batted it away. Hold it! I think I know who this is. Who, one of them asked. Naruto Namikaze, the fourth Hokage's son. That answer did not relieve all of them of their fears, and sure enough he came to a stop as if he thought it was Naruto. Even with his demonic eyes and fangs, there could be no mistake. He was on all fours and he seemed to be breathing heavy, as Naruto knew that he was coming to his limit. His back ached and his hands started to feel numb. He was huffing air and feeling tired, but he was determined to use his power until it ran out. As he looked up, I remember you from the Chunin exams, Ibiki, he said. And you are Naruto Namikaze. Did the Hokage send you to support us? Not really, said Naruto. I sent myself. As he looked forward and saw bodies, and he also saw movements in the distance. Oh, there are a lot of enemy ninjas there, Naruto asked. Ibiki nodded, at least a few hundred, and they all seemed to be very skilled. Good, said Naruto. Good? Ibiki said confused. Yeah, I would hate to waste this. Before Ibiki could ask what he meant, Naruto leapt away from the cover and went straight into the open street. Does he have a death wish or something? Not with that sort of chakra. I doubt it, said Ibiki. Meanwhile, Temaru was part of a 30-man unit, pushing the side block down. This was a flank attack that would ultimately catch the Leaf Ninjas by surprise. The attack was going good so far, even though the Leaf Ninjas were resisting hard. Maybe they could make this all work out in the end. Do you feel that one of them actually froze? As everyone turned. What kind of chakra is this, Temaru asked. What do we do, another asked. As Baki was in command and gave them all a harsh look. We continued the mission. The way he said there was no other course of action. Meanwhile, Naruto came to a stop in the center of the street. As kunais and shurikens rained down on him, explosive tags. In the middle of that, he sat down and closed his eyes. Why am I so tired? I had so much energy a minute ago. As he could see himself in a grass field with his eyes closed. As he was in a forest, chasing down rabbits and devouring them. They were so sweet. He heard a strange clicking sound and opened his eyes. There was a ridiculous puppy coming towards him, spitting out kunais and needles, but the tails behind him were batting them away. As a right hand came and crushed the puppet. Are you going to fight me with toys? In response, a ninja with a veil jumped out and cast a jutsu. Wind side jutsu technique. Naruto knew this A-rank wind jutsu, as he was a bit impressed. But he did not move because the wind blades could not penetrate the red chakra. It was time, as he was spreading his senses out. 300 of them. Perfect. That was a pretty good attack. Hey, you wanna know something? I happen to be a wind type as well. So let me show you mine, he said. The Kazekage was the most powerful ninja in the village, and he knew about every wind jutsu that there was. As he immediately recognized the hand signs. Take cover, he said. But it was already too late. Divine Wind, said Naruto. The air in front of Naruto darkened and grew heavy. Then it exploded in a force of a hurricane, ripping flesh, stone. Everything was tear apart. The buildings in front of him started to get crushed under the weight as they were sent like projectiles, stabbing through enemies. Just a simple stone, magnified by the force of the wind, split into an enemy's skull. Those who tried to run was caught as they were crushed and torn apart by the debris. Those who took cover, the cover was blown away, exposing them to the killing wind as their body was sliced to pieces. Those who tried to cast defensive jutsu, their jutsu was simply overwhelmed by the sheer force of the power that Naruto jutsu fire off. In short, when the winds finally died down, everyone, for a 500-yard radius, was gone, including the Kazekage, Kankuro, and about 300 sand ninjas. Meanwhile that was going on, Hinata was currently helping the people into the bunker, as she heard many stories about sound ninjas going around killing people. Now she was glad that Naruto killed those two sound ninjas after all the gruesome stories that she heard. Naruto clones were all around helping people as well. Many people were nervous when they just saw him and his appearance, but they seemed grateful to know that so many ferocious looking clones were there to protect them now. She let out a sigh. It's alright, Hinata-chan. Kiba-kun, what do you mean? She asked. You're worried about Naruto, aren't you? He asked. As she nodded. Don't worry about him. After all, it is Naruto. I'm sure he's alright, she said, but I can't help but worry. Why did he went out alone? Well, it's simple. It's because he's Naruto. As Hinata nodded. Please be careful, Naruto-kun, she said. Meanwhile, Tsunade nodded. As everyone assembled, she sent 200 ninjas under Asuma command to help Ibiki. As Kakashi, Kushina, Hayashi, they were there as well, alongside with Sarutobi. She's only remain in charge with things at the tower while she go down there and lead her forces. Alright, she said. These bastards have hurt us, but now we return the favor. We're freeing our village of these murderous bastards. Follow me, she said as she left, as her soldiers went after her to fight. Meanwhile, Temaru got to her feet. She and her forces were a distance away from the other forces in front of them, and that wind jutsu still hit them down. What the hell? As she saw entire buildings that were standing up were completely erased. Alright, change of plans, follow me, said Baki, as he headed towards the large chakra signature to find out what happened. At the moment, pain. Every muscle in his body seemed to be calling out and screaming for pain. As Naruto drove his hand into the ground and tore into it, it hurt. He reached its limit. As he looked to see more sand ninjas, they immediately took cover as Ibiki and the others started to fire kunais towards them. They still wanted to fight. He closed his eyes as he tried to concentrate. There was still fighting going on. Just one more. Just one more and I'm done. He could sense that the red chakra was starting to slip away, but he held on to it. As he went through hand signs slowly, as he felt his chakra throb and fight against him, as he fired off his jutsu, as he collapsed down, the last thing he heard was a deeper version of his own voice. It's okay now. We will take care of everything. Meanwhile, she rode upon Katsuya, the Queen Summon, with Sarutobi, Kushina, and Kakashi, as the individual ninjas spread out to take care of the other ninjas around, as Katsuya went for Orochimaru. Use your acid, Katsuya, said Snazzy. Yes, my lady. Orochimaru jumped away as the snake was struck and dispelled by the acid. He landed on a nearby roof where he was joined by Snazzy and her compatriots. He smiled at them. Well now, doesn't this feel like a reunion? So good to see you again, Sarutobi, Snazzy, Kakashi. As he looked at the woman with red hair and sword, I don't believe we had the honor to meet. I am the legendary Orochimaru. I am Kushina Namikaze, she said. Orochimaru laughed. Minato's wife. Well, I can see why he fell in love with you. Shut up, said Kushina. Orochimaru, why did you do this? Asked Snazzy. She focused chakra into her fist. He laughed and shut his eyes. Because I wanted revenge on all those who betrayed me. Betrayed you? Sarutobi shouted. You were murdering and experimenting on your own fellow villagers. Yes, he says. He snapped his eyes open. Can you see what it has given me? You have the Sharingan, said Snazzy. That's right, with my genius and experimentation, I found the key to immortality. I can take possession of the bodies of others and gain their abilities. I will never grow old and I will never die. I will learn every jutsu that exists and be the greatest genius this world has ever known. I will live forever. How are you gonna live forever when you're gonna die right here and now? Snazzy dashed forward as Kushina pulled her blade as Kakashi created a Shidori and dashed forward as well as Sarutobi hung back. Orochimaru avoided Snazzy punches, his body bent and twist with natural grace as he struck her in the stomach away. As he grabbed Kakashi by the hand and twisted him and threw him right off the roof. As Kushina swung towards the bastard's head. As he dodged and snapped his fist out right into her face that sent her flying. He laughed. I adopted this body to give it strength and speed and agility. With the Sharingan to read your movements, you have no hope against me. He opened up his mouth and pulled a sword. I will enjoy this. Sarutobi completed his last hand sign. Dome of Fate technique. A large dome formed around the two of them. Orochimaru pressed against the dome. It was solid. As he turned to Orochimaru with a grin. What are you up to, old man? Sarutobi speed through hand signs he spoke. The dome will not hold long, but it will be enough. You are my responsibility and my shame, and I will not allow you to harm this village any longer. As he completed the last hand sign. Reaper. Death Seal. I could have ended you long ago, but in my moment of weakness I failed. All the evil you have done since that day, it all falls upon my shoulder. Now I should atone for my failure by ending all of your ambitions. Orochimaru felt the air around him grew colder and colder, and his Sharingan showed him something standing behind his teacher. Old fool. No. No! No one can end my ambitions. What kind of jutsu is this? Sarutobi hesitated as he felt the Shinigami reach right through him, and a seal formed in his stomach. He smiled sadly at Orochimaru, who had once been his pride and joy. This is the jutsu that defeated the Kyuubi. It put an end to the Nine-Tailed destruction, and it will end yours as well. Fool. I don't think. You know what's gonna happen here, but I am not the one that will die. As he rushed at Sarutobi with his blade. As he was ready for Sarutobi to move or dodge. But to his surprise, Sarutobi did not move. As his sword stabbed right into Sarutobi's chest. But even as he did so, he felt cold. His body felt like ice. Why? Why didn't you dodge? Sarutobi coughed up blood. This seal is already going to take my life. So there's no point, I'm going to die anyway. What have you done to me? Why? Why am I feeling so weak, Orochimaru asked. Or do you feel is your soul being pulled from your own body? Make your final peace if you can, my foolish student. Because rest assured you're dying today. Never, Orochimaru said, as he dragged the sword further into Sarutobi's chest. Meanwhile, what the hell? Said Baki. All through the street in front of him, 500 clones appear. They had slit red eyes, and they had their sword drawn. Two of them grabbed hold of the original Naruto and pulled him away. 20 clones stayed with the original to guard him. The others rushed forward performing the dance of the cherry blossom. They're just shadow clones, we can deal with them easily. As Baki leapt backwards and tossed some kunais. His statement was right and wrong, these were shadow clones, but they will not be easy to deal with. What none of them knew was that just because Naruto created them with a Kyuubi's chakra, they had one difference. In the future, Naruto would call these red chakra clones, and they had a special feature because of their difference. A sand ninja tossed kunai as he stuck right in the clone arm, but the clone kept on coming as he was stabbed mercilessly right into the stomach by 3 clones. The man coughed up blood, confused. As Baki also struck 3 clones, but they were still coming. Temari swung her fan. "Great wing dance," she said. The wings caught the clone as the clones were sent spiraling and smashed into buildings. But there were more coming. She thought about summoning her summon, but if she did, she would end up slaughtering her people as well. "What is going on?" she said. "They should be dispelled when you hit them." Baki nodded. "According to what I know about Shadow clones," he said as he watched the 3 clones that he hit with kunais got back up with the kunais in their chests. As they started to come back to him, they poofed away. "That's it," said Baki. "These Shadow clones can still be dispelled, but they have a delay. Perhaps 30 seconds. Both of them pale at that. That meant even if they were hit, they had 30 seconds to keep going on. And that was bad. And that was plenty of time for them to reach you with those swords. As Baki watched, he saw his man being cut down by clones without any mercy. These clones will be too much for them. "We're done." "What was that, Sensei?" asked Temari. She launched another wind attack. "I said we're done. I'm calling a retreat." "Baki, you can't." "The Kazekage will have your head for that," said Temari. "The Kazekage is dead, along with most of our forces." "You can't be sure of that. He's dead, Temari." "If he was alive, he'll be right here trying to rally his forces." "He's gone, and I'm the senior in the field now. Retreat! Fall back! Retreat!" he said. Temari was stunned, but she did her part as she used her Winjutsu to cover others. As Ibiki watched, "Naruto, stop! Let them go!" As the clones were going after the sand ninjas. "Are you crazy?" several of them said. "Why should I let them get away? They fled the battlefield and you're no longer a threat." As he pointed east, "But we're still needed there. Let them go for now. We can always deal with them another day if we have to. But the village needs us over there to deal with Orochimaru forces. That is our priority." "I really don't want to let them get away," Clone said. "But I guess you're right." "Alright guys, let's go." Meanwhile, "Old man, what the hell you're doing?" asked Nadia as she dropped her fist several times into the boulder, trying to break it open. "There's something going on in there," said Kakashi. "I know," said Snaddy. "No, there's some sort of sealing going on," he said, as he was looking with the Sharingan, "but I can't tell exactly what." "Maybe this is some plan in Sarutobi's part," said Kushina. "What sort of plan that your enemy stab you through the chest?" As she started to pound on the door even more. "Sarutobi," she shouted. Meanwhile, Orochimaru was struggling to hold on to his life force. "Snaddy wants to help you, old man. Why don't you drop this and let her help you?" "It would make no difference, and I will not put the Hokage in danger. It seems I am at the end of my strength." "In that case, just die already and let me destroy this village." "No. Even though I cannot draw your soul from your body, I can still put an end to your ambitions." As Orochimaru saw the terrifying figure behind Sarutobi, wielding a blade. "What is that?" Orochimaru said in fear. "What you see is the Shinigami I summoned here. Now, you will face your punishment." As Sarutobi spoke, the arm holding the blade fell. "No!" Orochimaru says. It came towards his soul. The blade sliced into his life force, and the part representing his arms were ripped away and drawn to Sarutobi's belly. Seal. As the Shinigami started to devour Sarutobi's soul. "My arms," he said, as he watched his arms drop to the side, as his skin turned black. "What have you done? What have you done to me?" Sarutobi smiled victoriously. He was at peace. At long last, he atoned for his mistake that he did long ago. "I have ended your ambitions. Your arms are no useless to you. You can no longer make hand signs and no longer work ninjutsu. Your plan to destroy the village has failed. I regret only that I could not take you with me, but let us meet again in the afterlife." Those are the last words of the man as he fell over. "Damn you, old man!" Orochimaru cursed. With Sarutobi's death, the dome was released. "Get away from him," said Snaddy. Gladly, Orochimaru said as he jumped away. "You're welcome to his rotten corpse, you old witch." Orochimaru fled. "Sensei," said Snaddy, as she tried to heal him. But he was dead. She could do nothing but cry, as Kushina and Kakashi stayed with her and did the best they could. All around in the battle still raged, Orochimaru fled, but he did not call a retreat. He wanted as much of Konoha to burn as possible. As reinforcements arrived, led by Asuma and Ibiki, as over 300 clones are still there, eager to fight as well. as Kushina spotted some of them as she ran forward towards the roof edge. Naruto, she called out, as one of the clones made a detour and went towards her. Seeing his appearance, Kushina and Tsunade took her back. As Naruto was a bit disappointed, but he understood. Mom, Godmother, it's okay. When I use the red chakra, it changed the way I look. Kushina held out her arms as he ran forward. As she hugged him and he hugged her back. Naruto-kun, tell me, why did you disobey the Hokage and went out all on your own? Well, I didn't think I was breaking your orders. I made a bunch of shadow clones to keep my team and the students safe. I just decided with my red chakra I could be a bigger help fighting. Tsunade got up as she looked at him unhappily. That was not your decision to make, Naruto. I expect my ninjas to carry out my orders, especially in an emergency. And don't give me any nonsense about shadow clones. We both know you should have stayed with your team. But Godmother, I'm a shadow clone. I know that, but since the real Naruto is not here, for me to yell at him, you will do. And he will also get the memory when you dispel. Where is the real Naruto? Asked Kushina. He's alright, Mom. He's suffering from chakra exhaustion, so 20 clones brought him back to the house. They will guard him. You see, said Tsunade, you end up unconscious. You should have obeyed my orders. Actually, I'm very glad he did not, said Ibiki, as he landed on the roof. Ibiki, what are you talking about? Who is fighting the Sand Ninjas? The Sand Ninjas have been routed entirely thanks to Naruto. He single-handedly not only drove them back, but he killed most of them. If he did not come to help, we would still be down there trying to hold them back instead of being here to help. As Tsunade, Kakashi, and Kushina looked towards him, you single-handedly broke our army? Kakashi asked. That sounded like the thing your father did during the Great Third Shinobi War. As Tsunade sighed, well, if you really did shut down one of the fronts by yourself, I suppose I can't be mad at you. Especially since the academy students were all kept safe. As he looked at Kushina, you're not mad either, are you, Mom? No, I'm very proud of you. Good, so you're not really going to groan me for a month. As Kakashi groaned, Kushina and Tsunade darkened their expression. Did I say something wrong? You were listening. So I ordered you to report in, and you chose not to, said Tsunade. And I asked you to answer and you didn't, said Kushina. Kakashi shook his head. You need to work on being a little more deceptive, Naruto. The rest of the Sound Ninjas are rooted out pretty quickly when they saw the clones of Naruto coming with the red chakra around them, and they got stabbed in the chest, and they were still coming towards them. Eventually they fled, and as they fled they talked about the Red Eye, sword-wielding demonic ninja. They didn't know his name, so they called him the Red Eye Demon, the Leaf Demon, or the Killing Demon. Amongst the Konoha populace, story also spread about the one who killed hundreds of sand ninjas with a single jutsu. Stories were spread about the incredible ninja who had turned the tide of the war. They knew who he was, of course, and where that awesome power came from. Some still fear him, but most of them saw him as a hero, just like his father. But even those who saw him as a hero started to call him by a new name. Before long, he would be best known by this name. Just like Minato Namikaze became Yellow Flash of Konoha, Naruto Namikaze would become the Demon of Konoha. Time skip. He opened his eyes as he was in a forest. As he scanned the forest around, he saw a castle, an old castle. As he got up, he felt no pain at all. Yes, his body felt perfectly fine. As he got up and walked towards the castle, making his way towards the gate, he stood in front of the closed gate with a single seal on it. Well, I'm here, he said. As red eyes opened up with giant teeth, kneel before me. No, you dare. As Naruto cut him off, unlike last time, I'm not a scared little kid and do not know who you are. Who do you think I am, mortal worm? You're the nine-tailed fox my father defeated, the Kyuubi growl. Howl all you want, you bastard fox, said Naruto. You better start showing me respect, or I will make you regret it, boy. No, you're the prisoner and I'm the jailer. I will show you no respect. And you took away my father, and because of you a lot of people hate me. You already done me all the harm that you can. If you believe that, you're a fool. Oh really, said Naruto, as he stepped forward towards the gate and spread his arms out, waiting for an attack. Then why don't you punch me right here and now? The Kyuubi roared, and it made his ears hurt, but he smiled. Just as I thought, I talked to Granddad about it, and I read upon seals. You can't cause me any direct harm, unless I allow it. I can't deny you my chakra. Well, yes you can, but if you do that, and I will go up against an arm like that again, I will probably die sooner than later. Is that what you really want? After all, if I die, you die as well. I am the Kyuubi, I will never die, the fox said. Oh yes, you will when my time finally comes. I will take you with me. It will be the final service I perform for my village. The Kyuubi growled. But I'm not looking to hurry that day along, said Naruto. Instead of threatening me, why don't you help me? The Kyuubi chuckled. Let me guess. You want my power? Yes, I do, said Naruto. Tear away the seal and I will give you more power than you can ever dream of. No thanks, said Naruto. How about instead you just give me a little more and let me use it, and I don't feel like I'm about to die. The Kyuubi eyed Naruto for a long minute. I will give you a little more power, but the pain you feel, you cannot avoid that. Your human body is simply too frail to stand my power for too long. As you grow older, you will be able to use it a bit more longer, but you will always have a limit. Isn't there anything I can do about that? You can't tear off my seal. No, said Naruto. Then accept your limit, human. Now, leave. Wait, I need to... Naruto was fading away as he couldn't get to say anything else. As Naruto slowly blinked and opened his eyes. Damn fox, he said. Naruto-kun, you're awake. Hinata had jumped in the bed as she hugged him and kissed him. As she caught him by surprise. Oh, hard to believe that she was shy at first, he said. But he soon had his arms around her and he was kissing her back. As she pulled back a bit, Naruto-kun, why did you leave me, she said. I wanted to keep you safe. As he leaned in to kiss her, but she pulled back. What's wrong, he asked. You idiot, she said. As he was surprised. Hinata never called him a idiot, she said. Idiot, 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 idiot. Idiot, Naruto-kun, she said. Why are you calling me that, said Naruto as he sat up. As he looked down, as his mom placed him in his bunny pajamas, as he felt embarrassed. Because you're one, she said. You don't need to protect me. I'm a strong kunoichi and I will stand by your side. But I don't want you to face danger when I think about you getting hurt. I can't even bear the thought, he said. I know, Naruto-kun, she said. She leaned forward just a bit. That's how I think about you. When I know that you're in danger. But as long as we're shinobi, there's no avoiding danger. And I want to face it with you so I can at least be there when you need me. I'm a kunoichi of the leaf, she said. You do not need to shelter me. Instead, fight with me and watch my back. And I will always do the same for you, Naruto-kun. Now promise me you won't ever do something like that again. I can't promise you that, he said. She pulled away from him. Alright then. Then no more kisses or hugs until you do. You wouldn't, he said. Oh, wouldn't I, she asked. You told me once all of your kisses are for me, Naruto said. Yes, they're all for you, she said. I'm not going to start kiss anyone else, but until I get your promise, I'm not going to kiss anyone. He sighed. He could live without her kissing and hugs. But who would want to? Alright, Hinata-chan. I promise I will never try to shelter you from danger. Good, she said, as she started kissing once again. Oh, the Hokage said you must come see her once you're feeling okay. She checked on you last night to make sure it was just chakra exhaustion. So why don't you get dressed and we get going, she said. Oh, sure, but I have to check with mom first, he said. Why? As he turned his head in embarrassment. Well, she told off my clothes I was grounded for 2 months. So hey, are you laughing at me, Naruto asked. As Hinata shook her head. No, she said. You are, said Naruto. As he removed her hands, she couldn't help but burst out laughing. Kushina actually accompanied both of them to the tower. As they walked, something strange happened. The sight of people partying was not strange. The sight of people cheering and some of them even bowing was not strange. But what he heard was respect. Almost everyone was saying good things about him. Am I still in the hospital? Unconscious and dreaming or something, Naruto asked. No, this is not a dream, Naruto-kun, said Hinata. They all know what you did to protect the village. Kushina placed a hand on his shoulder. This is how it should have been, she said. And as he walked, he heard a few people call him Demon. He sighed. I guess everyone doesn't see me as a hero. Well, he wasn't really disappointed. This was a lot better than it had been. Actually, Naruto-kun, I don't think they mean it as an insult. I think it's your nickname. Huh? Said Naruto, confused. Think about it as a family curse. We all get nicknames. Just look at them. Remember, Yellow Flash, Red Death, and no Demon. I don't think I like it, said Naruto. Well, I never really liked mine, but I learned, once a name take, it is impossible to get rid of. Try to make people respect and fear your name, she said. He thought about that, Demon. Or maybe the Demon of the Leaf Village. As he noticed the ones that were saying that, they were actually still cheering as well. You know what? It should sound cool. Think about it, Demon of the Mist. And now, Demon of the Leaf. Yeah, it does sound cool, said Naruto. It will look good in the bingo book. Tsunade welcomed the three of them into her office when they arrived. How are you feeling, Naruto? I feel just fine, said Naruto. Tsunade nodded. Well, that's good to hear. It's good to feel some and hear some refreshing news this morning. We lost a lot of people yesterday. We are still gathering up, but our losses estimate 600 shinobis and over 10,000 civilians. Not to mention a quarter of the village was destroyed in the fighting. She let out a deep sigh. We will hold a memorial tomorrow to honor our dead, but there is too much to be done for us to waste any time. One thing we have to do is start to replace all the Jonin and Chunin that has been lost. So I've decided to promote Hinata, Kiba, Shikamaru, Ino, Ali, and Tenten to Chunin rank, as she handed Hinata a vest. Congratulations, Hinata. Thank you very much, Hokage-sama. I promise to work very hard to be worthy of my new rank. As Naruto looked up at Tsunade, waiting for, well, him. Tsunade looked at him. Is there something wrong? What about me? You promoted everyone else who made the finals, even Shikamaru and Ino. How can you leave me out? Oh, and do you think someone who goes against orders should be Chunin, she asks. But I was doing it to help the village, and I stopped the Sand Ninjas. Ibiki even said so. Tsunade crossed her arms. Every ninja who fought yesterday did what they had to do to help the village, and they did not break any orders. But are you really gonna punch me for wanting to do more? Naruto asks. As Tsunade raised an eyebrow. Well, do you consider being made a Jonin a punishment, she asks. Of course I do, said Naruto. It's not. Wait, what? Tsunade and Kushina start to laugh, while Hinata and Naruto look confused. Tsunade rubbed the top of his head, messed up his hair. I'm sorry, Naruto, but you have to let me get in my fun where I can. As she produced another vest, Naruto, we have reports that the Kazekage was killed, most likely by you, with over 300 ninjas, and your shadow clone helped bring the battle to its conclusion. You are clearly one of the most powerful ninjas in this village, and I am pleased to promote you to Jonin, she said. Naruto-kun, I'm so happy for you, said Hinata as she hugged him. Thank you, he said. And I'm happy for you as well, he said. You deserve it. As he looked back to Tsunade, thank you, godmother, he said. She smiled at him. But you should know, Naruto, being Jonin will only make your life more harder and dangerous, she said. When word get out, it will become clear to everyone that you're a Chijuke and possess the Kyuubi. Given the level of power you display, there's no way to keep it secret. Yeah, I kinda figured that, he said. Is that why you told everyone in the academy? Naruto-kun asked Hinata. Yeah, I know too many people are going to see me with the red chakra. It would be impossible to keep it a secret for any longer. Well, now that the secret is out, you're going to draw a lot of attention. I expect you to be listed in every bingo book by the end of the month. Really? Said Naruto. Naruto, this is not a good thing for a ninja. Surprise is a weapon you would no longer have. As he grinned, his features looked a bit animalistic. It's alright, Hokage-sama. I have enough weapons, he said. For the rest of the morning, Tsunade was busy, as she also talked to Neji. Being unable to battle, she had an idea for him though. To become a medic nin, he was surprised because that idea never crossed his mind. Hinata was good at healing, but he never thought about it. As Tsunade was starting a new class of medic ninjas, and with his excellent chakra control as Hyuga, he would be a great addition. Okay, Hokage-sama, if you believe I can best serve the village by becoming a medic nin, then I shall do that. Wonderful, said Tsunade. After that, she had another meeting. Thank you for seeing me, Hokage-sama. Whether she liked the man or not, she had to treat him with some respect. I always have time for the head of our clan, she said. So, tell me, how can I help you, Ryuki? You are aware of the recent change in my daughter's status. If you mean her acquiring the Sharingan, yes, I'm aware of it. He smiled, obviously. No, things have changed. She is of great concern to my clan and myself. I would like her to be placed in a new team. On what grounds? Asked Tsunade. She had expected this. It is unusual for a ninja to be removed from our team. It is extremely rare without the request of her sensei. And I must tell you, her sensei was here today and told me that she was happy with her daughter's performance. Of that, I have no doubt. But what her current sensei wants is besides the point. Then what is the point? Asked Tsunade. My clan and I wish for her to be on a different team where she will have a more beneficial role. Tsunade shook her head. She fought very well with her current team in yesterday's battle. I would say that the role she's serving now is beneficial to the village. She would do better with a different sensei and a different team, Ryuki said, putting a bit of heat in his words. Perhaps, said Tsunade, but that alone is not enough. It is not enough reassurance for her. And also, you declared that you were disinterested in her a month ago. The situation has changed, he said. Obviously, but you did not put in a disclaimer at the time. You wash your hands of her without any drawback or condition. She is serving well where she is. and I see no reason of removing her. She will stay with her current team. I see, he said, as he bowed as he left quickly. As Tsunade sighed. The next meeting was rather pleasant because this person was nice. Thank you for coming today. Of course, Hokage-sama. She nodded. I'll come right to the point, she said. You have some excellent untapped potential and a number of recommendations, including your father, of course. I'm about to start to teach a new class and I want you to be in it. How would you like to become a true Metic Nin? The boy gave her a smile. Hokage-sama, thank you. It has always been my dream to be a student, to be taught by the legendary Sanin, Lady Tsunade, he said. I graciously accept. Good, I'm glad this was so easy. Now, I would like to ask you what you did during the battle. He looked a bit embarrassed and pushed his glasses back up. I am ashamed to admit this, but I was at the stadium and I fell asleep when the genjutsu took effect. I woke to a scene of slaughter of the battle already over. Kabuto confessed. Don't feel bad, said Tsunade. Same happened to many of our other genins. I am sure I can expect great things from you in the future. As he bowed, Hokage-sama, I will do my best and give everything I have for Konoha, he said. As Tsunade nodded. The next day, all of Konoha came out to mourn those who have died for the village. Sarutobi, Shikaku, Inoichi, Choza, and so many others who had made the ultimate sacrifice. One by one, everyone laid down a flower before their fallen comrades. Naruto and Kushina comforted Tsunade, the loss of someone who had been like a second father to her, as he went to his former classmates to offer what comfort he could. Ino hugged him, and for once he did not reject her hug as he hugged her back and shared some words of comfort. Of the three of them, she seemed most deeply hurt, as she wouldn't hear her father call her princess again. Choji was saddened and he did not want to talk. As Shikamaru looked at the image of his father, a light rain started to fall as Shikamaru rubbed his eye. Damn rain, it gets in my eye, he said. I know it does, said Naruto quietly beside him. As he looked towards Naruto, you never knew your father, so I should be glad I get so much time with mine. Right, he said. All I have was stories. You should be glad that you got to know him, being ninja. There are no guarantees, said Naruto. You know it's funny, said Shikamaru. He will always tell these stories about how he and his team used to get into some unbelievable situations, and how somehow they would always survive them, as he laughed a bit. He told me that he didn't like to gamble because he wanted to save his luck for the battlefield. He always told those stories, and after a while, I stopped listening to them because they got boring. I mean, they were all the same, they get in trouble, and somehow they found a way out of it. I always thought that was how it would be for them. I never ever thought. He didn't say anything else for a while. As he then looked towards Naruto. Is that how it was for you and your mom, he asked. No, I was the opposite. Every time my mom left, I was terrified that I would never see her again. I remember all my nightmares when I was little, about her going away and never coming back. As Shikamaru went quiet for a while. I'm gonna miss him a lot, he said after a while. I know, said Naruto. I need to go and take care of my mom, he said. He didn't stop. Can I ask you something about battle? Sure, said Naruto. You did most of the fight against Sand Ninjas, right? Yeah, said Naruto. By any chance, do you remember seeing a blonde Kunoichi with 4 ponytails and a giant fan? As Naruto never expected this question, but yeah, I remember her, the girl who kicked Sasuke's ass. Shikamaru swallowed. Did you kill her, he asked. No, said Naruto. She kept on blasting my clones with Winjutsu out of her fan. I never got close to her. Why do you care, Naruto asked. No reason. I'll see you later, he says. He walked off. Moments later, walking home with his mother, Naruto stopped and hugged her with all of his might. Are you okay, she asked. I love you, Mom, he said. She hugged him back. I love you too, baby, she said. I love you too. As he wiped his eye. The rain got in my eye, he said. Kushina nodded. It got in mine as well, she said, as she wiped her eye. Come on, let's go home. I'll make you some ramen, she said. Time skip. 7 days later, the sun had gone in the village, the strongest village in the nation at the moment, and tried to defeat them. Even with allies and even with Gaara's power, they knew that war with Konoha was always a risk. But the Kazekage said that it was a risk that they should take. 500 ninja went with their Kazekage and Gaara. 39 returned, the Kazekage and Gaara not among them. And in the council, there had been 15 members, and now 3 remained. The leader of the council was an old man named Silman, as he was respected and feared as the head of the department and the Kazekage chief advisor. He was the Kazekage's strongest supporter and was left in charge of the village. He was also the clan head of Uzuma, one of the 6 founding clans of the Sun. He was a strong man who was used to making hard decisions. No, he found himself responsible for his village survival. What are we supposed to do? Paludo asked. We have to fight. What else can we do? Sagai said. Fight to do what Silman said. We no longer have an army. Including the 3 of us, the Sun has a total of 7 Jonins and 20 Chunins and the rest are Genins. How are we supposed to fight with any hope of victory or any survival? Sakai clenched his fists. We still have ninja. We can make a stand at the valley entrance and hold them there. And when their Jinjulki cast his S-rank wind nature against us, what happened then? As Silma lit his pipe and started to smoke, as he gave them a minute to answer the question, but neither of them could come up with a good answer. So he answered his own question. Our troops would be annihilated, after which the army would enter the Sun and take their revenge on us. There was complete silence as Silman puffed on his pipe. How could we not know that they had a Biju at their disposal? Paludo asked. Silma spoke. The Department of Intelligence and Security ran the Sun Intelligent Network. Is that a doubt of my network? Asked Silman. No, not at all, Paludo said. Silman then continued. They also never expected Gaara as our secret weapon. We in turn did not expect this Naruto to be theirs. It seems that we were better at keeping secrets. But their Jinjulki was stronger. Then what are we to do now? Paludo asked. We have no choice. We must accept the surrender terms. Sakai slammed both fists on the table. Never, he said. To accept these terms would be disgracing ourselves and our descendants. To refuse them would be destroying our village and ending many lives. I understand that you're angry, but it is our duty to save the Sun, not cause its demise. The man took a deep breath. Is there no other way? No, said Silman. Let us make this official. As head of the council, I call the question. Shall we accept the terms of surrender sent to us by the Hokage of the village? Let all those who agree to do so raise a hand. As the 3 of them raised their hand. It is done then, said Silman. We will meet with the new clan heads and share the term with them before we announce it to the village. There will be rioting when they hear of it, Paludo said. I do not think so, said Silman as he stood up. Take a look at something with me, he said, as he made his way. Down in the village they could see fires lit everywhere. They were burning, and many villagers surrounded them. What are they doing? Have they started the riot already? Asked Paludo. No, those are bonfires. The crowds are throwing their most precious possession into them. But why? Asked Paludo. They're making offerings to Kami. Near the end of the last war when we stood, exhausted and bankrupt, the people did the same thing. It is a sign that they realize how dire the situation is. They're giving up their most valued treasures, believing that Kami will save the village and spare their life. It means that people would not riot, they will accept the surrender. You know, this marked the end of the Sun as a great power. We will never again rise to what we were, said Silman. But we will save what we can, he said. Time skip. Are you sure you want me to do this, Temari? Her maid, Tanya, asked. Yes, said Temari. I can't do much, but I can at least mourn them properly. Maybe Conqueror and Gar will know somehow, and be comforted to know that I miss them. And your father? Asked Tanya. No. He can rot in hell, unmourned and forgotten. You never call me daughter. You never let me call you father. Even though we live in the same house, you are a stranger to me, and I do not miss you. Tanya gulped, as you wish. She started to cut Temari's hair. Will you wear it short for the full year? Of course, Temari said. As Tanya started to cut her hair. He was a sad little boy, said Temari. Who? Said Tanya. Gaara. I remember when he was very little before it came so cold. The only thing he wanted was love, for someone to care about him. As Temari looked on in shame, and I never gave him that at first. It was because I resented him for taking mother away. I blamed him for that. And then I started to fear him like everyone else. The only person that ever spoke to him was my uncle, Yoshimaru. After he died was when Gaara became cold and uncaring. And now, hearing about his death. As she talked very quietly, what was that? When Baki told me about Gaara's death, I was relieved. I was relieved that my baby brother was dead. Temari-san, who can blame you for that? I heard him threaten to kill you and Kankuro many times. And I know that you were afraid of him as we all were. Even if you were a sister, no one could blame you for feeling that. Temari nodded but said nothing. No one could blame her. There was not a single person in the village who would not feel relief that Garo was gone. And that was the tragedy of his lonely existence. That not one person who had known him would not regret that he was gone. She sat there as Tanya finished cutting her hair short. When Tanya was done, she told her to leave. And she sat there, and she started to cry. She still cried for Gara, and she cried for Kankuro, and all the chances that were now gone to rebuild bridges. She could not do that anymore. They were all gone. But guys, be subscribe right here. If you want the next part of this news, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, stay in tune and enjoy. But I'm off for now. Peace. Bye, guys.